Years ago, a dime gave a kid all sorts of pleasure. That's what a classic comic book used to cost. Today, after seeing what some of these comics are selling for, you shouldn't be surprised at the price of gold. It's not unusual to find comics priced at $600 to $800. The current wave of science fiction movies and the comic industry seem to be helping each other. This is the newest addition to the comic industry, a whole new language inside. But really, comic conventions deal with nostalgia. And while it's true that comic books cannot speak, you can find out how people talked, say in 1946. This is an issue of Willie Comics, and you can almost hear the talk of 1946. Golly, I'm late. Have a swell time. Jeepers, holding hands in broad daylight? Shucks, Gene. Boy, it's keen. John Kalia, News 8, downtown.
Talk about a way to escape reality for a while. The annual comic convention offered plenty of out-of-this-world excitement, including far-out comic books, souvenirs, and even futuristic-looking Star Wars computer games. Many were there just to expand their comic book collections, while others were there just to gaze at the galaxy of characters on hand.
Some of them are weird, some of them are pretty nice, and I'm just pretty serious about it. I don't go around putting crazy get-ups on and coming down here like some people do, but if that's what they want to do, that's fine.
One woman was even a little miffed that the convention didn't offer more Rocky and Bullwinkle comic books.
Well, I feel put upon. I really do. I flew in here, but I couldn't carry that money under my arm. Yeah, I would kind of like to see it.
So if you missed all this madness, don't despair. They'll all be back at the same bat place, same bat date. Jesse Macias, News 8, downtown San Diego. It's hard to believe that a dozen of these conventions have already passed through San Diego. The 1981 edition will be at the San Diego Convention Center through Sunday. It's open to the public and other creatures who might wander in from distant galaxies.
It's a little bit nostalgia, a little bit science fiction, fantasy, horror type. It's really a popular art festival. It gathers people who appreciate the popular art and just kind of draws them all together in one place.
Sellers, buyers, and traders were out in force, flashing plenty of green for various comic books.
Some Fantastic Fours, some Daredevils, and X-Men and Star Wars, and some magazines too.
How much?
$17 together.
One seller parted with a 41-year-old comic book. Price?
$1,200 in cash, which is a considerable investment potential increase from the original dime in 1940.
And if you want more than just comic books, there will be guest speakers and movies throughout the 4-day convention. Jesse Macias, News 8, downtown San Diego.
The comic book titles: Tale of the Crypt, Iron Man, Creepy. As far as these people are concerned, that's literary greatness. Mention a comic book at some boring cocktail party in Rancho Bernardo, and you're branded a nut. No need to hide your identity here. You're among friends. Much of what appears between the pages of comic books has been used as movie material. The Conan adventure is now into its second feature film. It began in the mind of Robert Howard. Tragically, a troubled mind. After 23 books, Howard killed himself. Today, Conan is in the hands of Roy Thomas of Marvel Comics, who finds one part of Conan's creation fascinating.
It's interesting that Howard never describes Conan's facial features, because I think he wanted the reader to put his own face in there.
Readers who see themselves in Conan's face are precisely the people Richard Fleischer, the director of the new Conan film, had in mind when the movie was made.
Even the locations we've always called Conan country, because certain areas have the Conan look. Everything is angled for the Conan fan.
Conan and all of these comics are fantasy adventure. But at the comic convention in San Diego today, there was at least one moment of doubt. This looked like a character who stepped out of the pages briefly to check the comics for accuracy.
Yes, fans, a full-blown invasion of wild creatures has arrived at the community concourse for the annual comic convention. And you're right, sponsors tell us this year's convention is bigger and better than ever. For lovers of comic books, movie posters, and other assorted pieces of trivia, this is paradise.
The convention attracts about 5,000 people over a 4-day period. And though a majority of those people are interested in comic books, a lot of those people are also interested in film and whatnot. So we're not just a comic book convention, we're really a lot more.
The weekend extravaganza is luring people from as far away as Yorba Linda.
I've picked up, these are mostly first issues, things that I've needed to complete my collections. And I'm also looking around for the artists and writers to get these things autographed. Then they're worth more when I decide to sell them, if I decide to sell them, which I won't.
What do you think about all the people that are here? Some of them seem a little on the strange side, don't they?
Definitely. You take it with a grain of salt when you've been living with a comic collector for the last 4 years.
One of the big attractions is the Robotech comics and cartoons.
It's an amazing story that deals with people's life and death, that shows people getting married, having children, characters are dying, something that's unique and something that you don't see on television in the children's programming area.
The convention is the largest of its kind in the U.S., a 4-day gathering now in its 20th year. And at this event, the characters aren't just in the comic books. Some, like Devin Folk, dress the part. Have you been having a good time today?
I sure have.
The convention has been called the Cannes Festival of Comics, last year attracting 10,000 fans and industry people and who knows how many comic books. But it seemed like millions, standbys like Batman, Superman, Bugs Bunny. And how about this vintage copy of Archie from 1956? It was 10 cents then, $8 now. Along with the old, there's the new, like a comic book called Tales of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, very big with little kids. Kevin Eastman is co-creator.
All we ever wanted to do was draw comic books. That was all we'd ever wanted to do, and we had no idea. I mean, there's, it's as baffling to us as probably a lot of people, what makes them a success.
The convention is a chance to meet established comic book artists and perhaps would-be artists. Comic book companies are always looking for talent.
I just talked to a couple today that have a lot of potential, and they're going to send me some stuff, and we'll filter it through the editors and see what happens.
While some of this seems silly, there's a serious purpose here, promoting comic books as art.
It's a true American art form, and it really is. You look at the range of stuff, from the most, like an Archie comic to graphic novels today that are, bordering on science fiction.
But perhaps more than anything else, it's a chance to be a kid again. Do you think you'll ever grow up?
Never. No, I'm a big kid now. I still buy toys. I spend most of the morning buying comics and things that, it's my inspiration, and so I am a big kid.